And Peter McKenna.
Thanks very much, Sandy. It's an amazing atmosphere down here, Bernie. I couldn't believe the roar for Hawthorn when they came out in the ground. Yet the poor old West Coast, they didn't cop too much of a rap from the crowd. But who are you selecting, Bernie?
Well, I'm probably going for the underdogs. I think the West Coast Eagles have not got the support of what probably the Hawthorn side has, but I think they've been the best side throughout the season. They won 19 of their 22 home and away games, and I'm tipping against you. I know you're going for Hawthorn, but I'm going for the West Coast Eagles.
Yeah, well, I'm sticking with the Hawks up there, Sandy. It's a tremendous atmosphere down here, very blustery conditions, difficult for the players, but it's great to be down here on the big ground.
Right, thank you, gentlemen. Yes, a magnificent scene. To Ross Glendinning and Ian Robertson, you know the feeling. What's it like for the players as they burst out onto the ground? Robbo.
Unbelievable, Sandy. I think that the first grand final that I ever played in, I don't think my feet touched the ground for about 10 minutes. But surely experience is going to be a big factor. Hawthorn, look at that last line of defence. Collins, Langford and Ayres. West Coast, Sumich must kick a lot of goals.
Yes, and that half-back lock again. Muse come through a fitness test. McIntosh, I don't think will start at centre-half forward.
Very important centre lines on big grounds like here and at the MCG. And Pritchard and Gowes, two very big jobs there on Kemp and Matera, key players for the West Coast.
Yes, and Brereton's been named at centre-half forward. Lockyer is opponent. I think you'll find Brereton in a pocket with Adair at that centre-half forward key position.
And the West Coast have got a big job because Hawks are just blessed with talent in their forward line. Brennan on Dunstall, what a big job. Jarman and Paul Deere, both key players for the Hawks.
Yeah, some big owners here on Dean Irving to cope with Lawrence. He's been such a good player, and Pike on Platten will have a big bear in the game as well.
And of course, interchange adds a bit of flexibility. Anderson and Morrissey, both good players. Mainwaring and Wilson. Will Mainwaring take his place? We'll just see it very shortly.
So there are the lineups. As Robbo said, whether they start like that remains to be seen. Thousands of people have come over from Perth. Sadly, thousands couldn't, but give yourselves a wave and a clap over there at the Burswood Casino in Perth. They've got a history-making afternoon in front of them, and wherever you're watching, we certainly hope you'll enjoy it. Let's now pause for the national anthem.
Would you please now stand for the national anthem, which will be performed by Darren Braithwaite, together with the Victorian Children's Choir and the signed choir from the Victorian School for Deaf Children with the Australian Army Band, Melbourne. Thank you.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts. Our beauty rich and fair. In history's page, let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful song, then let us sing. Advance Australia fair.
And so the formalities are all but done. And there you have a bird's eye view of a wonderful arena. The weather, as Gerard said earlier in his Mitsubishi Motors report, is a little tricky. The wind in particular. Which side will be able to handle it best? Michael Tuck, what an extraordinary man. 38 finals. Let's go down for the all-important toss. Here's Gerard.
Yes, Darryl Braithwaite's got the coin. He's just waiting on John Worsfold, who has disappeared somewhat. So he's going to be a couple of seconds getting here. He's just running around looking for the umpire. If I was to win the toss, I'd be kicking to the main scoreboard end. There's a very blustery wind. There's no doubt that that will be the end favourite. Here comes John now, over with umpire John Russo. He shakes his hand. And up it goes the coin. It's a heads, won by John Worsfold. He has elected to kick with the wind.
So the Eagles have won the toss. Johnny Worsfold kicking with the breeze. We've had a look from above. Let's go up above now. In the chopper is Bill McDonald.
Sandy, VFL Park is a picture, packed to capacity. If there's a spare seat down there anywhere, I can't see it. The opening ceremony was spectacular as the balloons continue to disperse around us here. The stage is now well and truly set for one of the most eagerly awaited grand finals in a number of years. North have already beaten South in the earlier game. Now East takes on West in the big grand final. What a great atmosphere.
Thank you, Bill. We're set for a history-making afternoon. In the commentary position this afternoon, we have Dennis Cometti, Don Scott and Bruce McAvaney. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you, Sandy Roberts, and welcome to Don and Dennis. It is a tremendous atmosphere here. Don, you captained Hawthorn to 2 premierships in 76 and 78. You know what the feeling's like, and Dennis, you've been in Perth for a long, long time now, and you know the occasion here. Don, what about the start? Hawthorn renowned for getting away quickly.
Well, they have, Bruce, in the finals games, the 2 previous finals games of this year. They really did play finals football. They put their bodies behind the ball and put the score on the board, and the others had to play catch-up football.
Got to say too, Bruce, a good toss to win this one. The Eagles will have first use of the breeze. Strong breeze.
Hawthorn has led in 6 of the 7 grand finals they played in the 80s. Only when Essendon beat them in 85 were they behind at quarter time. So they are renowned for getting a flying start. We'll look for the matchups here. Mainwaring and Wilson the key in terms of fitness for both. West Coast is Mainwaring with his left thigh strapped. Brereton and Mew, some worries about both of them in the last fortnight, but it's good to see the 20 players selected out there.
Irving is out there too, yes. Some conjecture about that.
Morrissey's got the job again on Lewis too. Dennis, he had that in the earlier game over in Perth, and he really did make mincemeat of Chris Lewis in that particular game. James Morrissey.
Well, it's been worth waiting for, hasn't it? 5 years ago, and here they are. The West Coast Eagles in a grand final. Great for the national competition. And certainly one of the Eagles' stars right there. Collins and Anderson come off the ground.
Kemp and Lamb for West Coast.
Surprised that Collins is going off, Don?
Yes, I am, Bruce, because he was their best and fairest last year, and he played in the back pocket.
Well, he started on the bench in the qualifying final in Perth, didn't he?
He hasn't had the best of seasons.
McIntosh for Brereton, and Brennan for Dunstall. Lockyer for Deere. So Don will keep an eye on all of those moves. Waterman, it looks like.